welcome. My name's Sarah. Thanks for being here with me today. Each time you step on your mat, you're invited to embrace your best self. And it's not like you're trying to be perfect at yoga, because yoga is just shapes meant to bring us to the present moment. But by being engaged to embrace our best self, we are encouraged to heighten our awareness of our thoughts, our actions, our bodily sensations, and you uncouple experiences from your past, from the present moment, and it gives you a chance to be free and powerful and just here in the now. And that's the only goal of our practice. It doesn't matter what the shape looks like. It doesn't matter, if we're sweaty, if we're not sweaty, how many calories we burned. It matters if we can hold our attention in the present moment. What does that mean? If you're in a pose and you're struggling in it and you're struggling and you think you're failing, I want you to bring it back to your breath, that deep diaphragmatic breath, and remind yourself that you're right where you need to be. And in that moment, in that inhale, you are like catapulted into the present moment. That's what I'm talking about. So I want us to start to experience that in stillness. So let's find our way to our backs for Shavasana. Sometimes we start here. We definitely always end here. So let's come all the way down to our backs and keep your feet about mat width distance. So some days, if I'm feeling super open your legs like as wide as your mat, maybe even longer, right? And put your points of your scapula down, your head comes down, turn your palms up, and we'll breathe. Sometimes during the day we lose our breath, and just as a gentle reminder, we take one hand to our heart, one hand to our belly, and we see if we can breathe into the bottom hand. Deep breath in. Open your mouth, exhale. Again, deep breath in. Exhale. And last time, breathe in. Keep your mouth closed. Exhale through your nose. Constrict the back of your throat. Push any extra air out at the bottom of your exhale. Again, deep breath in. Mouth is closed. Slight constriction in the larynx. Breathe in. This is Ujjayi Pranayama. Pause at the top. Exhale, release. One more time like this. Take your attention to the top of your head. I want you to put your hands up there somewhere. And as the crown of your head is reaching back, your toes are reaching forward. Starting to synchronize the breath with the movement, let's pull the knees into the chest and give yourself a big hug here. And it's here we start to drop our head and engage any movement that feels organic. So any place that you feel that is tight, maybe you open and close through the hip joint. Maybe you take the knees to one side and then the other. Anything that inspires organic movement. And syncing that movement with your breath, that's vinyasa, right? So vinyasa, if you literally translated it from Sanskrit, it means to place in a special way. So if you think about what you're doing in a yoga class, you're placing limbs, you're placing breath, you're placing awareness in a special way. All right, let's take a couple more breaths here with whatever you chose to do. And we are using a Spotify playlist today that I curated for you. If you would like to follow me, it's called Mindful Flow. And we'll start with Everything I Need. Let's take Baddha Konasana, bound angle, heels, toes aligned. Take your hands to come underneath your feet. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Your next inhale, look up. Release your feet. Let's turn to the front of the house. We'll start on all fours. Take some cat-cows here. Inhale, open. Exhale, navel to spine. Tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis. Cat. Again, inhale. Exhale, drop. Contract. I got a new mat. It's pretty sticky. Inhale, up, and it's super wide. Exhale, contract. Beautiful. Let's curl under the toes and start to walk the hands back until we're sitting on our toes, this toe stand. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take a big side reach to the right. We're laterally stretching in between each intercostal into your rib cage. We're leaning right, but reaching left. Beautiful, come up. And we'll take it over to the left. Beautiful, inhale, come up. Take your hands behind you, interlace and roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Look up. Set an intention why you're here. Why you practice. What do you want? Slowly release your hands. Take them back down to your mat and step out the tops of your feet. That gets pretty intense sometimes. We'll extend the left leg behind us, right arm in front of us, thumb up, breathe in, breathe out, crunch. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, take it up, reach around with your right hand, reach back, maybe bend the back leg and see if you can find a nice steady quad stretch. So it's important not to open the hip yet because we have not stretched the hip. So just keep that hip super closed, pelvis facing down, square to your mat. This left shoulder is locked in. Slowly release, come all the way down. We'll take it on the other side, right leg extends, flex the foot, dorsiflexion, toes coming up towards the knee, left thumb is up, breathe in, exhale knee, inhale reach, exhale knee. One more time, inhale, reach. And then reach this left hand back, bend the right knee. Maybe you catch the foot. And if you want to put a little up dog in your chest, that's okay. You don't have to. You can keep your nose pointed towards the ground. Again, be mindful that we don't open this hip yet. Slowly release all the way down. Curl under your toes, slowly roll it up and back into downward facing dog. Release your head. This mat is so long. I'm not used to it. All right, inhale, shift your weight forward. Plank pose, hold. Work on your bandhas, belly in. Slightly tuck your chin. Engage through your bathroom muscles. Breathe in. Exhale, down dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or float. You're at the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Let's come all the way up. Exhale, reach right. Back up. Reach left. Reach up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Plant your hands, let's walk it back. This first time around, chaturanga. Chest down, belly down. Let's move into cobra. So this is pretty low. Feet are down, thighs are down, lift up. Exhale, chest down, chin down. This time let's move into upward facing dog. So we're curling that same up dog in the chest, but this time when we get to the top, we push into the tops of the feet, our hips, our knees lift. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. This time, let's take a float. Half lift. Fold. Come all the way up. To the right. up and back. Forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands. Let's float it back. So we float it back. We land with our arms bent. Chaturanga. Roll over the toes, Urdhva Mukha. Roll back over, Adho Mukha. Downward facing dog. Let's get ready to move. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, float it to chair. Utkatasana. So we're sitting low in our knees. Hips are low. Hands are high. Breathe in. Breathe out and fold. Take your hands behind you if it feels good. If it doesn't, leave it out. Again, chair. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands for crow. So we have little or no space between the backs of our arms and our knees. We're lifting, but we're rooted. So we start to wiggle in here. Maybe you take one toe up. Maybe both big toes are up. From here, take a big breath in through the nose. On your exhale, shoot your feet back to plank. Beautiful. Up dog or cobra. Down dog. Let's step the right foot in between the hands. Virabhadrasana 1. Dial down the left foot. Exhale, humble. Slowly release your fingers to the mat. We're turning the left toes forward for a dragonfly twist. Beautiful. Take both hands to the inside of the right foot. Look forward. Runner stretch. Drop the back knee, top of the foot down. Straddle your front foot. As your hips come back, your face goes down. So this is half split. This is a pose that if you're running, if you're spinning, if you're swimming, if you're doing anything, if you're even seated at a desk, this pose will counter that. And that's why it sucks so much, right? I've been running, I've been cycling, and each time I come to this pose, I'm a little bit higher because I've been countering it so much. So just be aware. Just notice. Beautiful. Let's walk it forward. Front foot steps to one leg plank. Let's take 3 push-ups here. 1, 2, 3. Both feet down, up dog. Down dog. Let's step the left foot through. Dial down the back foot. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, humble. Beautiful. Slowly release. Reverse. And we'll take that right hand down. Left arm up, dragonfly twist. Runner stretch, both hands to the inside of the left foot. Look forward. Lean into the hip flexor if you'd like, or stay pretty lifted with the hips. And then drop the top of the knee, top of the foot down. Shift your weight back. Half split. Every inhale is a chance to get you back to the present moment. Curl under the back toes. Let's step this left foot back. One leg plank. Shift the weight forward, hold. One more big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee across the body to the left elbow. Inhale up. Step it all the way through. High up on the ball of the left toes. Rise up, crescent lunge. Breathe in. On your exhale, take your hands to your heart. Draw in that left leg just a little bit. Bend the left knee. And I want you to touch it to the floor and then lift it up just like an inch. So you're in a modified crescent lunge hold. You're drawing this right hip point back, left hip point forward, so your hips are stable. I want you to envision if your pelvis was holding a bucket of water. How even can we get that bucket? so no water spills out. Hands to your heart. This is where we find our awareness. Every in-breath is a chance to draw you into your moment. Notice the bodily sensations that are going on. Notice the muscular contraction. Notice the hold. Notice tightness. Notice tension, never pain, but notice uncomfortableness. Notice moments where you want to get out and you tell yourself that you can stick it in for 2 more breaths. Awareness, 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 awareness. That's the heart of yoga. Let's take 1 more big breath here. On your exhale, tip the weight forward until you're rooted in this right foot, warrior 3. Left foot is flexed, arms extended out in front of you. Micro bend the front knee, land it back in your crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. So now we're open through the hips and through the shoulders. You're looking forward, that's where we're headed. Bring that beautiful micro awareness into your practice. Flip your front palm, reverse. On your exhale, Skandasana, left knee bends. Stay lifted here. Keep your hands at your heart. If you need them, drop them. See if you can keep them at your heart today. We're taking it to the front of the house. Skandasana on the right. Ooh. And then we'll twirl to the front of the house for runner stretch. If you have an Ekapada Kunyasana, we're wiggling our right shoulder underneath our right knee. So I'll switch my view for you. So right shoulder under right knee, drop the hand. See if you can wiggle this right toe up off the earth. If you're ready to fly this, we bend the elbows, fly. Coming out of this when you're ready, we're back to that runner stretch. Drop the back knee. Stay here, drop to your forearms. We'll take 5 beautiful breaths here. You can also take the toes to about 2 o'clock. If you have healthy knees, open up the foot like a book, get into the hip flexor here. Bend the back leg, reach around with your hand. Beautiful, let's slowly come out of this. Straddle your front foot, curl under your back toes, breathe in. Take your right knee into your chest, send it all the way back, roll out the hip. Switch directions. Right foot down, let's go right into the left side, left leg up. On your exhale, across your body, touch the right elbow. Inhale, reach, and step it all the way through. We have crescent lunge coming up. Hive on the ball of your right toes, rise up. Beautiful, bring your hands to your heart. Bring this left leg in just a little bit so you can find those 90-degree angles. Hold. So if you need to touch the mat first to see where you are in space, curl into your toes. Hold, hover this right knee about 1, maybe a ½ inch below. Pull your left hip back, right hip point forward. Make sure your knee is behind your toes. I know what you say here till you get a bit uncomfortable. Much in life, our reactions are repeated here, and we can hone in on them because we're on this closed course where we can experience emotions, we can experience reactions, we can bring mindful awareness into every moment. Take 1 more big breath here. On your out breath, let's hinge forward, move into warrior 3. Flexed right foot, upward dog extension in the chest, breathe in. On your exhale, micro bend the left knee, take it all the way up. Back to that beautiful crescent lunge shape. And this time we can maybe widen our gait because we've been here before. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, both hands to the inside of the left foot. All right, from here, wiggle this left shoulder underneath your left knee. And you can stay here, maybe you play with this for a while. When you're ready, hop up onto the ball of the left toes. Maybe you find a little lift. Maybe you bend the elbows, shift your weight forward, fly. This is Ekapada Konasana 2. Coming all the way out of this, we'll move into Warrior 2. Equal amount of weight in both feet. Your shoulders, your scapula are stacked over your hips. Breathe in, reverse. Exhale, Skandasana, right knee bends. Keeping your hands to your heart or hands to the floor or a block. For a challenge, keep your hands to your heart as we maneuver our way over to the left side. And then we'll face the front of the house. Straddling the front foot, step it all the way back and up. You can find some rolls here. Switch directions, beautiful. And then your left foot will meet the right, down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or float. You're at the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Beautiful. Separate your feet. Take your hands behind you. Breathe in. Lengthen. Exhale, fold. Slowly separate your hands, and we'll keep our feet about mat width distance, maybe a little bit more. If you're off your mat, that's okay. And let's try to wiggle our shoulders underneath our knees. So we're just finding some wiggle room here. Your knees can be bent. Just going somewhere new today. If you can, interlace your hands behind you, please do. You do not have to. They could just hang out by your side. Try to straighten out your legs to your flexibility. Hard to talk in this pose. Or you can just keep your hands behind you. Beautiful. The ultimate hamstring stretch. All right, let's heel toe your feet back together and slowly roll all the way up. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, reach right. Come back up. Reach left. Reach up and back. Hands move through your heart, fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, let's walk it back. Or float it back, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha. All right, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it to the outside edge of your right hand. So again, we're getting a little space here in the nooks and crannies of the hip to prepare us for our side plank variation. Beautiful, keep looking up. Curl under the back toes, shift the weight into your hands and your right foot, step it up. Malasana, low yogi squat, hands to your heart. Beautiful. Hands go down, right toes are sent back. And from here, I want us to drop the knee, top of the foot down, take the left toes to about 11 o'clock. All right, if you have healthy knees, we roll to the outside edge of this left foot, look behind you. If you want, you can bend the back leg for a quad stretch too. Play with the plane that your neck is on, so maybe take it a little bit higher than you normally would. Deep belly breaths, heightened awareness to your present moment. Big breath in, big breath out, slowly start to release. And from here, maybe we come to our forearms. Beautiful. Let's walk back to our hands. Step the the front foot back, Chaturanga. Over the toes, Cobra or Up Dog. Downward Facing Dog. Step the right foot forward. Dial down the back foot. We'll come all the way up. So alignment, you're going to have heel to middle arch alignment. My earphones just died. Hands to your heart. You can take prayer or you can take reverse prayer. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Nose to knee, chin to chin. So if you see what I just did, I have a little bit too much room between my front foot and my back foot. So if that's you, micro bend the front foot, step the back foot up a little bit. Now we have a little bit more space to fold. Beautiful stretch. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Fluidity in our breath is crucial. The moment that you lose that fluidity, that's when you know you've gone too far, right? Too much striving is never a good thing. Drop your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Keep your right hand where it is. It's about at 2 o'clock. We'll slowly lean into the weight of the right leg. We open up. This is Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. It's probably one of my favorite poses to play with because there's so many places to go. So if you're feeling pretty strong today, pretty steady in this right leg, and the musculature is starting to hug the bones, and you're like, oh yeah, I've got this. Find this new hand to home. So maybe it's on your leg, maybe it's out in front of you. That really challenges your core. If you're flexible, if you're feeling flexible, bend the top leg, reach around, catch the top of your foot. This is Chakrasana, and you can push out and leverage that hip as much as you safely can. Allow for the wobble. This is a wobbly one. This is half moon. Beautiful. Micro bend the front leg. Let's come in through warrior 2. And then we'll straighten out to star pose. And we'll just take a minute here to take 3 deep breaths and to check back in with your intention to make sure we're attuned to the why, behind why we practice, okay? We lose sight of it all the damn time. Just bring it back. It's always a breath away. Deep breath in. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. Beautiful. Hop to the top of your mat. And then we'll step the right foot back. Heel to arch. And I've stepped too far again. So maybe if that's you and you notice, bring it in for pyramid pose, Parvottanasana. You can have front prayer hands. You can also take reverse. So how I like to get into reverse, I take my hands pointed down, palms together. Keep my palms together, but slide your fingertips up your spine. And then kind of wiggle them until you get between your scapula. For some of us, it's not too hard. For others, it's maybe impossible. That's okay. If your hands look like this, great. As long as you're feeling something along the ulna. All right, breathe in. Exhale, we fold. This is my tight side. Let's take 3 more breaths here. We'll slowly release the hands. Keep your left hand down at about 11 o'clock. And we'll slowly start to peel up. Hip will splay open to the right side of the house. Take your right arm up in line with your left. And again, whatever variation you took on the left, let's take it over here. I think Chakrasana sounds good on this side. Grab your top foot. You can take a variation where you remove the left hand from the floor. So you could always pick that hand up to your shin. Go somewhere new today. Slowly release. We'll micro bend this left knee. Warrior 2 is waiting for you. Virabhadrasana 2, take a big breath in and spiral your hands down, front foot steps back, chaturanga. Upward facing.
and downward facing. All right, let's move into our last series today in class. We've worked so dang hard to open up that hip. Shift your weight into plank. Right hand down, open up, Vashisthasana side plank. So you're lifting from your core, your obliques are firing up, your glutes are engaged, you're lifted, you're strong, you're rooted. Now we find Padangusthasana, peace fingers, big toes. Lift. Look up. Your breath will be challenged. Your balance will be challenged. If you fall, you can fall into a wild thing, right? Put a smile on your face. You can also fall all the way down, and to get back up, try it again. If you need a modification. Right knee down, spin your heel back. So your heel is back towards the wall. If you want a different modification, you could always take tightrope, and this challenges your balance, as well as your flexibility of your right hip. So some place to go for everybody. All right, let's all meet in this kickstand pose. And we'll walk our hand out a little bit so your shoulders over your wrist. Extend your left leg. Beautiful. Now we'll take this left hand and bend the left leg. Grab your foot. Pull it back. You can look up. Getting a nice little spine stretch here too. Slowly release without flicking your foot. And then we'll cartwheel to the front. You're on your hands and knees. I want you to take some big circles here with the hips. Just seeing any place where you kind of, have that brush of being uncomfortable. For me, it's in the low hips. Some of us must find it in the spine. Whenever you feel like you're glitching, just lean into it a bit. And we'll go right into the opposite side. So I'm gonna face you guys. So your left hand will find the center of your mat. We'll stack the feet, take the right arm up. And this is Vashisthasana. It's a beautiful place to be, side plank. You've been coming for a while, so you grab your peace fingers to your big toes and you find some length. That leg is just not doing it today. So wild thing is where I fell out. If you fell out there too, awesome. If you want to give it another try, let's start by stacking our feet, lifting our hips, open up, then grab your toe. To your degree of flexibility, we rise up, dropping it into wild thing. Maybe you come all the way down, drop the left knee. And let's give ourselves 3 more breaths to get here. Beautiful. All right, so from the left knee, extend your right leg. So we are this beautiful straight line of energy. Now bend the top knee, grab your foot. Look up. Beautiful, slowly release. And we'll cartwheel all the way down so we're still facing the front of the house. Curl under your toes, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Child's pose. Child's pose. So if you want to turn off your playlist, I'm going to play something for you. One of my favorite bands is, it's a woman's chorus group. I guess it's not a band. But they are letting us stream all of their music on our playlist during COVID. So I just wanted to share this with you. As we're moving to the mat, our intention follows, right? So take a moment to line up your intention. We'll be in Pavrita Janu Sirsasana, it's revolved head to knee pose. Extend your right leg beside you, pull in your left heel as close as you can, get it into your right hip, like your right pelvis. All right, from here, right arm under, left arm over, see if you can grab your foot. You can also square off your hips to this right leg, and this is just regular Janu Sirsasana head to knee pose. But since your hips are nice and open, it might be nice to grab it from the side, and that's something you can play with. We'll be here for about 10 breaths. And again, this song is Faith's Hymn by beautiful 3 breaths here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release your foot. We'll take it over to the left. Left leg out beside you, right heel pulls in as close as you can get it to the left hip. All right, left arm under, right arm over. Grab your foot, twirl your gaze underneath you. And you can also drape the front body by squaring the hips. So 2 variations there. Nose to knee, chin to shin. One side will always be a bit easier. There's no judgment, it's just how it is. Let's take 5 more breaths. In through the nose, filling up the belly, the ribs, the chest. Out through the nose, back to the base of the belly. Breath goes. Beautiful. Inhale, look up. Exhale, come on out. All right, so open hips are a beautiful way to get into crow pose. I know we started there, but I always like to finish with something that makes us feel a bit empowered, right? So we have crow as an option today. If you're not willing to go into crow, I totally get it. Our balances aren't for us every day, so we respect that. If crow isn't your jam today, malasana. Another chance to open up the hips, push the elbows into the knees to get you some leverage here. Spine is straight, shoulders are away from your ears. Crow. Let's slowly start to make our way into crow. So stay here, we'll be here for about, 10 breaths. So crow pose, we plant our hands, little or no space between the underarm and the knee. Once you get a little bit of hang time, drop the crown of your head. We're moving this into tripod headstand. All right, up we go. Moving your mat to a wall if you're hella uncomfortable in the middle of the room doing a headstand, I get it. So from here, you see that lift. Got a little lift, a little hang time, drop your head. Slightly tuck your chin, belly in, breathe in. On your exhale, pull your knees into your chest. Take it up. Your hips are super open, you can take it into wide leg tripod. Beautiful, belly in, ribs knitted back, take it up. Pull your forehead as close as you can to your knees. Catch your heels, lift up your hips. Hanging out in your headstand for as long as you need. I came out of it because I can't talk in it. So give yourself some time to get out and then to functionally offset the pose, to counter the pose with rabbit. Cross our ankles behind us. Come all the way down to your back. Knees to chest. Arms see out, breathe in. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Take your gaze to the left. Beautiful. Come on up, breathe in. Drop. Exhale, right. Come back to center. We'll extend the left leg out. Take the right leg all the way up. Nose to knee, chin to shin. Or since your hips so open, maybe you take half yoga nidra. We take that right knee underneath the right shoulder. And we can stay here, or you can find an extension here. I don't know how far we're going to extend today. And just play with it. A lot of times, these are the poses that we completely avoid in the studio because we're like, oh, how vulnerable do we look? What do we look like? What's our pants doing? But when you're at home, you can kind of, you can see where you go in these poses. Right? And eventually, you work on this pose long enough and this right heel will go right behind your head. Beautiful. You can start to lift up if you want. See if you can wiggle that. Not happening today. Come all the way out. Take some rolls here. And then we'll take reclining tree. So just open up the hip and just give it a little pause. Beautiful. We'll take our right knee back into the chest and then extend it out. Left knee comes in, straighten. Nose to knee, chin to shin. Or maybe you find that half yoga nidra, you wiggle the left shoulder underneath the left knee. And this is where your present awareness kicks in, right? You go where you need to go, not where you think you should be at. Wiggling that left heel behind the head. We're trying to. Beautiful. Let's slowly release it. Find that unsupported tree pose, and we're just kind of splaying our left hip out. Both hip points on the floor. Beautiful. And from here we'll take Shavasana. Take your heels out wider than your mat. Hands by your side body. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Breathe and rest. And instead of counting your breaths, I invite you to count your blessings. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Breathe and rest. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Reach your arms back, full body stretch, feet towards the front of your room. And on a slow and juicy exhale, extend the exhale. Pull your knees to your chest. Rock to your right. Pause a moment. And almost like you're pushing reset. I had a really weird day yesterday. I just was like really fussy, and I was kind of grumpy, and I was real snippy with my kids. And when I went to bed, before I went to bed, I did some yoga and I set an intention, and I just visualized myself pushing reset. Like no matter what happened that day, no matter how grumpy or bitchy you were, reset, right? And today was such a better day. So just bring that mindful awareness, push into the earth. Meet me in Sukhasana, that's easy sit pose. Hands on your knees. Arms at side body. Gather up all this beautiful energy you created, take it with you. On a slow and steady exhale, Anjali Mudra, hands to your heart. I bow to you. All my love, all my blessings, all my light.